I love my truck. Without my truck, I wouldn't be able to explore or have adventures. We've had some great times this year. So how did my truck go from this to that? I'm doing today's adventure in my car because about a week ago, I got a text message that started like this. I'll be honest, I wasn't very excited about doing an adventure without my truck. Time fills up quickly around Christmas, and today was my one free day for about the next 3 weeks. I was counting on my truck, and now I'm stuck with my car. However, a car adventure is better than no adventure, so I headed out anyways. But I didn't have high hopes. This particular bay is pretty close to the road, and I took my grandson fishing here earlier in the spring, and we did really well. So, chances are, I'll be able to catch at least something here. Nothing yet. I'm sure it'll get better just around the corner. Nope. Turns out, the frigid wind isn't helping out my mood any either. Well, that's about enough of that. But before I leave, the snowy side of the bay was my best spot early in the spring, so I have to hit it. There's gotta be something hanging out there. And no. Time for a plan B. Change the day up. Fishing. I only put an hour or so into it. Kind of a bust, so I decided to change it up a little bit. Try for a little bit of grouse. So last year when I was hunting elk, about 2 miles from here, I came across a bunch of grouse. I expect they're probably still here somewhere. So drove the car up as far as I felt comfortable, and then just walking the road for a while, scouting for grouse tracks. I'm just staying on the road because the walking is easy. But up here just a bit, there should be a side road that drops down to an old little canal. I'd been walking for about a half an hour and hadn't seen any tracks, but then looks like my luck was about to change. All these tracks are a great sign. I should just have to follow into the woods. Somewhere in there's going to be either a grouse on the ground or sitting up in a tree looking at me. And then we'll have some grouse for dinner tonight. Finding the grouse is the hard part. Once you find them, actually shooting one's pretty easy. Anytime now, I should come across grouse. I've been tromping around enough that any second there should be the sound of wings. Always makes me jump a little bit, but at least then I'll know exactly where they're at. All right, well, guess not. So much for that. At least I found where one bunch is at. If I hike down the trail a little bit more, I'm bound to run into another flock. I was afraid they'd left the high elevations already, but they're clearly here. It's just a matter of time. One of my favorite YouTube channels, Minute on the Mountain, has this awesome white chili recipe that's perfect for grouse. I've been wanting to try it. Today's going to be the day. There's some elk tracks. Not quite what I'm looking for, but it's only a matter of time. The bull elk up there, he ran right through those trees. Probably bedded down right up over here. There's that bull elk's tracks. Booked it off through there for sure. So it looks like he was just eating in here, headed up that way, then he must have heard me or smelled me and just boom, took off. Now that's super interesting. The spot I busted that elk. I'm like 50 yards from where I made that detour looking for grouse earlier at the start of the day. It's interesting that I didn't spook him then. He must have been bedded in the timber or something at that point. Bumpers on, headlights in, now should just be the grill. I'll be honest, I'm starting to lose faith. There was a grouse I spooked. Came right through there, and then boom, wings. Now I think the grouse are just teasing me. I've eaten plenty of deer tag stews, but I haven't yet figured out how to turn wing prints into something edible. Well, it hasn't been an overly successful day. No luck on the casting or the blasting. That's how some days go. Actually, that's how a lot of my days go, and that's okay. There's other ways to measure success of a day. For instance, the whole time I've been casting and hunting for grouse, I've seen exactly 0 people. So, for me, that's a huge win. All right, right here I'm lying to the camera. I try and be honest on YouTube, but sometimes I just can't help but save face. I'm really disappointed. If only I'd had my truck, it would have been a successful day. It wasn't until I finally finished putting the truck together. It took me 3 hours and $300. It was about that point that I realized I could have lost my wife in that accident. The woman that stood by me for almost 30 years. done most of the raising of 4 kids. The woman that's willing to go to Alaska with me? You know how many guys would kill for that? I think I've met 'em all. And here I was, worried about a stupid truck. It's not my truck I should be loving. I'm a freaking idiot.